Hello there, and welcome to my channel where I read unhinged stories from all over the web, but honestly, more often than not from Reddit. Our stories today come from Am I the Devil, which is a subreddit where the worst Am I the A-hole stories are posted. Here's our first story. Am I the devil for yelling at my wife to stop asking me if I'm depressed or anxious, and that I've had enough? We met about 10 years ago at an outdoor hiking club when we were in our 20s. We did a lot of that cool, outdoorsy lifestyle stuff. Obviously, as we get into our 30s, things have changed. When I'm done with work for the day or week, the last thing I want to do is think about preparing for a long hike or hitting up the bars for trivia night with friends or going to a crowded brewery. Instead, I found a game I really like, and so of course, that's what I prefer to do when I'm at home. She's still stuck in her 20s. Most of the time she'll ask me to come and I'll just decline because I'll have already made in-game plans. So then she got it into her head that I'm depressed. Which makes me chuckle. I'm the best I've ever felt. So she decided to take a few days off and asked if I wanted to head into the mountains to see the fall colors and whatnot. I declined, saying I'd made plans in-game. She asked me again if I was depressed, and pointed out some other kind of hurtful things. I've gained weight, I wasn't active anymore, we didn't spend much time together, and that all I did anymore was game. I said that isn't true, but even if it was, what's wrong with having a hobby? And, if I ever told her she gained weight, my head would be on a pike. It just ended up making me so mad. I told her that she's the one stuck in this post-college mindset where everything's an adventure and hanging out with friends all the time like some stupid sitcom. And if she wants to spend time with me, it wouldn't kill her to try being player 2. That most people actually like gaming with their spouse. She went on her trip and from the pictures, nothing any different than any other year. The leaves changed colors. She drank cider with her gal pals and some guys they met on the hike out. Just like every single year. On the one hand, I'm kind of pissed that I'm expected to just drop what's important to me to go look at some leaves like I'm a college kid again. And that she wouldn't even think about trying to join me on my level. But am I the a-hole? Well, first things first. I do not think there's anything wrong with someone being a gamer or really enjoying playing video games. But when that is the only thing you do that you enjoy, to me that says we've crossed the line into addiction. I cannot say OP is depressed because that is for a therapist to diagnose. However, he does meet about half the criteria. Plus, gaming, while an activity you can do together, is not an activity that allows you to deeply connect with your partner. Something like hiking or hanging out with friends is. And, I also find it interesting that he wants her to join him, but is not willing to do the same for her. And yes, to me it sounds like the beginning of an addiction or depression. But, more importantly, he sounds like an inconsiderate and immature partner. I mean, we can assume he is giving us the most flattering version of the story and he still sounds like a bit of a jerk. So, what do you guys think? Any gamers listening that can shed some light into the dynamics? Would love to know. Next up. Who cares about my wife's mental health and financial independence? I want a clean home. Am I the devil for wanting my wife to stay home and take care of the kids and house? Throwaway account. I am a 26-year-old man. I have 2 children, 5 and 1.5 years old, who joined the Ironworkers Union when I was 20. My job is pretty hard most days and I come home exhausted. I almost never clean the apartment on weekdays because I'm so tired, and I usually work 6 days a week at 10-hour days with Saturdays being 8 hours. The only days I have off consistently are Sundays, and I try to use those days to catch up on sleep, rest. My wife works at a doctor's office as a receptionist. For 5 days a week for 8-hour days. She gets the kids up in the morning and takes them to and from daycare. She gets home about 30 minutes earlier than I do depending on where I'm working. We both take care of the kids when we get home, cooking supper, giving baths, making sure that they don't get into stuff that can hurt them, and putting them to bed. But by the time that all that gets done, it's usually around 10:30 to 11 o'clock at night, and I try to get at least 5-6 hours of sleep. I wake up at 4:30. There is no time to do chores or relax for either one of us. I make over 3x what she does, and there is no financial reason for here to work. I pay all the bills including daycare. I have tried to convince here to stay home and take care of our children and house so that our place isn't filled with garbage, dirty dishes, and that we can have more time to relax. She has told me that she can't be a stay-at-home mom because her mental state can't handle it and she needs adults she can talk to every day that isn't me. She also says she wants financial independence and that she would loathe the idea of relying on my income alone. The only time our place gets cleaned is when I can get some Adderall and use it to stay up all night to clean and go to work the next day. I've tried to tell her that I can't keep doing that and that I need her to stay home, but she won't listen to anything I have to say. We have been at each other's throats for a couple months now because of this. I don't want to be the classic misogynistic white man that thinks his wife needs to stay home, but I don't see any way for our place to function if one of us doesn't. Maybe that does make me in a hole, but I just want my wife and children to be happy. Too long didn't read. White man wants his wife to quit work and take care of home and kids. Okay, so disclaimers first. I am a non-white woman. With that out of the way, I am not sure I understand why the fact that he is white is important here. He mentions it twice, I think. Men of other races can be just as, or sometimes even more, misogynistic, so I don't know what that has to do with anything. The only thing that occurred to me is that maybe his wife is a minority, but who knows? Anyways, my take is that he wants his wife at home filling more of a traditional role. Not because the house needs to be cleaned, but because he actually wants that. And I don't think he is being honest. If the issue really was that they didn't have time to clean, it can be easily solved by hiring a cleaning person to come once or twice a week. I know that even some part-time nannies provide full services that include cooking and cleaning. The fact that this is not even a consideration tells me it is not the real issue that they are trying to solve. While I am a very modern woman, I don't think there is anything wrong with assuming traditional roles in relationships. But both parties need to be in agreement for that to work. And it doesn't seem like these two are. What do you guys think? Wouldn't just hiring a cleaning person take care of the problem? For the women listeners, would you like to be a stay-at-home wife? Okay, so we've come to the end of our video today. Don't forget to come back for more crazy stories. And feel free to submit your own stories or suggest other subreddits where I can find even more unhinged content. And, remember to subscribe, like, comment and share if you are enjoying these stories. Catch you next time.